is how amazing you guys have been this week. Just fantastic. But I think a special round of applause needs to go to Karen Curry who put that together. So here we are then, the final countdown. So the first time ever I've got stuff written down. I mean, clearly I won't follow it because I never do. These are my awards shoes. Not that I'm getting one. Well, I might, but I doubt it. So I would like to introduce the people who are sitting on the stage with us. So in this order, in case it's not clear, we have Ruth Patel, who is the current chair of the National Drama Festival Association. We have Ian Fox, who is the chairman of NODA. We have Deputy Lieutenant Mrs. Fiona Charney, who is here to present the awards. And we have Chris Chambers from Stage Scripts, all of whose surnames, you might have noticed, start with the letter C. That was just a little thing that I pointed out. And this gentleman here that nobody will recognise is Tristan Marshall with an N. And this lovely lady is Karen Woodland, who I believe you probably all met if you have been performing this week. And she is in charge of breakable things because they don't trust me. Quite right. So I'd like to hand you over to Ruth, who's just got a couple of things she'd like to say, and I'll shut up.
Thank you, Amanda. I know at this stage, when people give the thanks, which I'm about to give, they say things like, I know you're just here for the awards, so I'm going to rush through this. But I don't want to rush through it, because we know that people aren't just here for the awards, hopefully. Hopefully people here have not just competed, but they've enjoyed the performances, they've been to the studio spotlights, they've enjoyed the feedback forums, and they've spent 3 or 4 days really getting absorbed in all the things that have been happening here. Those are the comments that have been coming to us. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. And a lot of work has gone into putting together the studio spotlights, the feedback forums and everything. So I will do it quite quickly, but I really want to say some heartfelt thanks to a few people. I just brought it right down. Sorry, I'm working with all week. So first of all, I want to thank the groups who have participated. So that's Woodhouse Players from England, Banbury Cross Players England, Whole Hog Productions from England, Namfish Players from England, Gaddock from Guernsey, Downstage Left from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, the Conquest Theatre England, Bonaparte Players from Scotland, Back to Front Theatre England, Tact England, Fads from Scotland, and the Bright Light Theatre Company from England. Thank you so much for coming along and performing for us. The NDFA affiliated festivals through which they came to be here. And I know some of the festivals are here and some aren't. I just want to call out the festivals through whom you came to be here. So we've got the Birmingham B-Fame Drama Festival, the Cheshire Drama Festival, FEATS, Festival of European Anglophone Theatrical Societies, Guernsey Drama Festival, Hastillo Tamworth Festival, Henley Drama Festival, Hereford Drama Festival, Lighthorn, Isle of Man, Maidenhead, SC Scotland Community Drama Association Northern Division, Eastern Division, and the Woking Drama Festival. So there's a lot of festivals who have pulled you through, and without whom you wouldn't sort of be here, and they're the ones who enabled us to give you your free festival passes, etc. So thank you to those festivals for supporting you and supporting us. Plays, we had the feedback forums and the studio spotlights. The feedback forums we started last year. We thought it would be a great idea, maybe if everyone kind of came together the following day after the performances, the groups, audience members, anybody, so we can just have a little chat to see where things went. It seemed to go well last year, and the feedback we got was, yeah, let's do that again. So we did. We had 3 of them, all expertly even orchestrated by Tristan, and we'd like to thank Tristan not only for doing your more adjudication, but having to really think very, very quickly when orchestrating these feedback forums to make sure everybody participated and hopefully everyone got a lot out of it. So thank you, Tristan, for the feedback forum. Five actually, but we were meant to have 6 studio spotlights. We had 1 2 years ago. We then had, I think, 3 last year. We thought, let's have some more because people seem to enjoy them. So we did. We had 6. Arguably, 5 would have been enough. We want you to tell us what you think. We don't want to cram too much in, but we had 6, and they were all put together by Sue Doherty, who, in addition to being a member of the NDFA Council, is also a donor adjudicator, so she knows what she's talking about for certain. So thank you, Sue Doherty, for organising all of these and bringing them together. But before you clap, I'd like to thank Strange Futures for the puppet workshop, Studio Spotlight on Friday. Mark Wheeler, who came along, playwright, doing the Bring Your Play to Life during the rehearsal process. We had Sharon Coltman from the Make It Right community in Liverpool, build a successful playwriting and performing community. We had to cancel How to Have a Successful Festival Journey yesterday due to illness, but actually it gave everyone a chance to eat. Which we quite enjoyed. And then we had From Page to Stage to Publishing this morning with Bev Clark, followed by a wonderful studio performance of Shelter by Jenny Darkshire, the winner of the 2024-25 Derek Jacobi Award. About Jenny in a moment, to finish off our studio spotlight. So thank you for coming to those and for all the effort that went into putting them together. So thank you. One person we'd like to thank for coming along, and you may or may not have noticed him, is someone called Paul Percy, who is he's the president of Crikey. What's it called? Sorry. It's New Zealand, I'm so sorry. They are, he says, they're equivalent of what we are here, but they're not, they're much, much bigger. Paul has been sort of going around, sitting quietly, going up to people. Paul's doing a lot in New Zealand. He's very interested in really good groups like yourselves, going over to New Zealand in a couple of years' time, something pretty specific. And he's been talking to a few people. And he mentioned, sort of introduced himself this morning in the feedback forum. Now, if anyone wants to find out more about what Paul is doing, we'll be telling you via your festivals what he's doing. Anyone is invited to have a chat with Paul, get in touch with him and just see what he's doing. But it's all about a world theatre festival, amateur drama. He's into lots and lots of different things. So thank you, Paul, for coming over from New Zealand to be with us. I'd like to thank our sponsors, which sounds, everyone says that, don't they? But we say this from the bottom of our heart. We have Ticket Source, who are our corporate sponsor. Thank you, Ticket Source. Concord Theatricals, who sponsored this festival. All of the groups would have got a tote bag from Concord, I think, 1 each, and a few other bits and pieces. So thank you, Concord, for sponsoring this festival. But thank you in particular to NODA, and quite seriously, without NODA, plus our other sponsors, we wouldn't be able to be here doing this at what we hope you agree with us is a wonderful venue, the Artrix. We really, and also we wouldn't have been able to give you the groups, your any travel bursaries. There's a lot we wouldn't have been able to do, and a lot we can do in the future thanks to NODA plus our other sponsors. So we really have a heartfelt thanks to NODA for coming in this last September and wanting to be associated with us. So on that note, I'd just like to hand over to Ian G. Cox, who is the chairman of NODA, just to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everybody. We thank you for that splendid welcome. We are delighted to be sponsors for the NDFA Festival here in Bromsgrove. This has familiar surroundings to me because as chairman of Bromsgrove Operatic Society for a period of 25 years and performing on stage, I have played many parts in this magnificent venue, which is for music as well as it is for stage performances. We're really pleased to be involved with everything that everybody has done. And it's interesting that this week I have witnessed not every production, in fact only a couple, but I have attended feedback sessions, and it's been wonderful to hear what everybody's got to say and the networking and the comments that are going on between everybody and the learning process about amateur theatre. Amateur theatre has so much to give, so much to provide. And interestingly, whilst NODA has 2,000 societies, the NDFA have, I believe, 500-600 different groups. And if you do the multiplication, you say an average of, say, 50 people per group. At any one time, on stages like this, in village halls and other venues, there are something like 20 to 25,000 people performing and providing entertainment through amateur theatre. And I think that's something to be celebrated, and I'm sure you all will now and in the future. I'm not going to do a commercial for NODA. That's not what I'm going to do. But only to say that I know the awards are coming up, but congratulations to everybody who performs. Not everybody can be winners of awards, but they can certainly receive our applause and acclamation for all the skills and entertainment that they give. So I will leave now and wish you a very good afternoon and look forward to the awards. Thank you again.
Just very briefly, very finally, but very importantly, we mentioned the Arctrix. Just a shout or something. Have you enjoyed being at the Arctrix?
Yes.
So have we. The Arctrix have been probably the best venue I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and I think we've all been saying that backstage and beforehand, etc. The Arctrix have been fantastic to work with. Wonderful venue, wonderful facilities, wonderful attitude, real can-do attitude. Wonderful. I'd like to thank Julian, specifically Julian Sarah on the box office, Pam and Sandy on the bar, Steve and Floss, duty managers, Graham and Tony, ushers, Vanessa, the venue manager, Suzanne, the marketing person, and Liam, who single-handedly, Liam up there, single-handedly has run with you your tech for the last 3 days. So thank you so much. We've enjoyed being here so much, and we'd like to come back this time next year, Arctrix, if you're willing to have us. Are you willing to have us? That's a yes. Thank you. And talking about the Arctrix in Bromsgrove, one of the reasons we chose Bromsgrove is because in Bromsgrove, in Worcestershire, in the West Midlands generally, there is a massive amateur drama society presence and lots of people interested in the arts. And that's why we invited Deputy Lieutenant Mrs. Fiona Charney from the Worcestershire Lieutenancy to come here to sort of witness really what we're doing and to try and help us with other people actually expand more into the local community next year to get more local people coming along and seeing what you're all doing. So with that, I'd like to ask Mrs. Fiona Charney to say just a few words about that.
I'm one of the Deputy Lord Lieutenants in Worcestershire, and I'm representing Beatrice Grant, who is the Lord Lieutenant. And it gives me great pleasure to come here to present the awards today on her behalf. The Lieutenancy is one of the country's oldest institutions, having been established by Henry VIII nearly 500 years ago. And each county has a Lord Lieutenant, who is the personal representative of the monarch. And we try, Beatrice and her few deputies, to get round as much as we can. So Beatrice can't be everywhere, but she's got a few little worker bees that come along to as much as we can. Bromsgrove, and in fact Worcestershire, has a thriving arts community, and we are delighted that the NDFA are returning here for the 51st festival next year. The NDFA and its affiliated festivals encourage theatrical skills throughout the festival network, which is wonderful to see, as is the collaboration between such organisations as NODA and Artrix. Local venues such as Artrix are hugely important to the local community, and I was doing a bit of finding out about it, and I was interested to find the building was taken over by a volunteer organisation, Bromsgrove Community Arts, and it now relies completely on volunteers to run it, which is very impressive. I very much hope that I can come back next year and watch some of the plays. If my youngest son had not been doing an Ironman, I would have been here today. So I'm sorry to miss it, but I'm looking forward very much to the awards. Thank you.
Yes, it is me again, but I'll be so quick. I just want to do a final thanks to the NDFA committee, and we all run festivals, we all run groups, we all know how important committees are. We all know that during the year, some members don't kick in until they need to. At a festival themselves, some people are very high profile, some people aren't because they've done their work 6 months ago, and it's we all sort of work together, don't we? So I'm not going to call out who does what. We all do stuff. But I really do want to say, again, a heartfelt thanks to our president, Derek Palmer, who's at the minute at the moment, who can't be here, unfortunately, Karen Carey, Chris White, Ian Thomas, Alex Brown, Karen Woodland, Amanda Vaughan, Sue Doherty, Lou Falwell, and I'm on the committee too. So thank you very, very much.
Oh gosh, you see, I closed my phone because I'm so intrigued by what was going on now. I've got a clue what's going on. Would you like to explain what's going on now? And then I'll hand over to Tristan. Right, okay. This is important information for you lot, all right? This, can we just have the house lights up a little bit? Please. No. If you are lucky enough, thank you. If you are lucky enough to get an award, there are instructions, right? That Lindsay might need to move. Bear with callers, because we couldn't do, actually, you might stand here with the not there. Right, could you stand there? Sorry. Right, Linda is now on turtle duty because, as you will notice, no steps. Don't expect you to clamber and abseil up on the stage. Right, listen, right, it's important. You need to, you've got an award, hurrah. Right, don't clap, all right, until they get on stage, otherwise you'll run out to clap. And then you can clap properly. So you come up here, all right, and you have to get out of the way to the business way. There's a pole. Don't go that way because it's teeny, narrow. Ouch. Go this way. Right, come here, now sound like dog training, where the lovely Fiona will present you with your awards, and Tristan will be on this side, so you'll be here in the middle, and you'll go, oh gosh, that got an award. And then, oh, my hair's got caught. That was really nasty. And then you'll get those people pointing cameras at you, and you go, gosh, I won an award. And they'll take the photo, and then, this is important, you go on this way, where Alec, in case this is Alec. Very quickly around there, through the secret door, you will then come here. This is important. You pick up a box. That's what your award's going to go home in, all right? But unless you're very special and you are the overall winner, don't take this box. All right, so summary. Get your award. Award. You don't clap. You come through this bit. Go over here. Get your award very graciously, not the rude way that I'm doing it. So quickly, Tristan's here, you're here. Go, oh, I got an award. And then you run back there. That's it, all right? Just got to get it right. I'd now like to hand over to Chris Chambers, who is
Stage scripts. Stage scripts.
I want to make
So, firstly, I just want to say, having watched a few plays in the last couple of days, that I think Tristan's adjudication has been amazing, hasn't it? Which is great, apart from, I realised as I was looking back at some of the plays I produced at Cambridge in the 1990s, when Tristan was the theatre editor of Varsity magazine. I agree with everything he said on this stage. I agree with everything he said about all these plays, but what he said about my play 30 years ago, having seen Gunpowder, Treason and Plot, I agree with Lucy Bassnett that the production was weak. Okay, anyway. So I'm here as Stage Scripts. Now, Stage Scripts is a publishing of plays company. David Waters began it 25 years ago, and he's done sterling work. He's built up a catalogue of about 850, 900 plays, which is about 150 writers, and he's single-handedly done it over 25 years. So it's remarkable. About 10 years ago, Nikki, my wife, and myself, we came on as writers, but also as sort of readers of material of playwrights, and we would advise David as to whether we should publish or not. And now it's come to the point where David wants to sort of pull back a little bit, and he's actually gifted. Well, I say gifted. We're doing a lot of work. He's given his company to us with him to work on it into the future. So, to sponsor this award and the Derek Jacobi Playwriting Award, to come up and see such a wonderful play this morning, to see Shelter, written the first time playwright, Jenny Derbyshire, to see that play this morning and to hear the beautiful, poetic, evocative language, building a wonderful atmosphere about a relationship in an Anderson shelter, building on so many different aspects of the emotional problems that came out of that storyline. We are actually honoured to be able to publish that, and I hope she writes many more that we can publish in the future. And also, Bev Clark, going to her wonderful session this morning, she's one of our writers at Stage Scripts, and she is inspiring in the way she talks about what it is to be a playwright, and the passion is required to bring any play to the stage. So I feel really happy to be here on behalf of Stage Scripts, and thank you to Jenny for being the winner of the Derek Jacobi Award.
So already you've all failed.
You'll excuse me if I do a couple of quick thanks myself, because I just have to thank what an amazing NDFA community we've got here, particularly to Linda, to Ruth, and Karen, who've been around greatest proximity, but a fantastic committee generally. I'd like to thank the amazing backstage crew, the people who are up there, the people who are behind here, everyone who you don't see, but the cast will know just how valuable and amazing that is, and my own personal thanks to the Artrix staff who've made us feel so welcome here. I'd also like to thank Chris and apologise for that review. Technically, it was Lucy Bassnett's review. I was writing in defence of her. But anyway, a small nitpick, but a terrifying thing to come on stage, sit down in the dark next to someone who goes, "I know you from Cambridge." Did we? No. And thanks, Andy. Can I also thank every single group who's performed here over the past few days. You are, as every adjudicator knows, you are the inspiration. Your work inspires us as adjudicators. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing things that made me just sit back sometimes and think, damn, these groups are wonderful. So thank you to the wonderful groups. And I'd like to thank the other people who need to be thanked as the audience. Thank you to everyone who's come here, who's not maybe part of the group or a supporter of the group, or just someone who's wandered in off the street. Maybe you were looking for the fire station but thank you to the audiences who come and support. You are the reason why we all do this as well, to share our work, and that's wonderful. Now, to hear one fellow Godo adjudicator over the past few days say to me, I really wouldn't want to be in your shoes, would be one thing. When it's two, you start to sweat. This has been a festival of highs, even amid the emotional lows, of big laughs and sort of big gulps. If I might paraphrase the Fast Show, ain't live theatre brilliant? And it certainly has been. But this is why we do this. We do this to feel that amazing connection that simply watching TV, where you can freeze frame and go and make a cup of tea. You can't do that in live theatre. You could, but you'll get in a lot of trouble. We do this to learn, to laugh, and to come back next year even better. So with that in mind, let's hand out some awards, shall we? The first award I am here to hand out is the Award for Technical Excellence. There are a number of nominations for this. Not surprisingly, there are a number of nominations for pretty much every category of award. So the nominees for Technical Excellence, in no particular order, are Goodbye Charles from Banbury Cross Players, for staging a piece with a constant cast presence, Warmind from Whole Hog Productions for the simple joys of torch lighting effects. Lemons from Nantwich for masterly audiovisual projections and an inspired watch colour system. Storytelling from Bon Accord for imaginative work with blocks to build story. Modest from Tact for a set that was great on so many levels. Okay, you lot are going to be tough. And the final nomination is Songkeeper from Bright Light for setting and wonderful puppetry. The award for technical excellence goes to Lemons. The next award is the Adjudicator Award. Now this is a wonderful catch-all because it can be for pretty much anything, and often is. Again, a number of nominations for this. The first nomination is for 12-Hour Life from Woodhouse Players, for gorgeous relationship work in that two-hander. Then we have a nomination for Warmind from Whole Hog, for the marching scene with gas masks. Nightmare-inducing, that one. Lemons, Nantwich, for utter physical pairing from Bernadette and Oliver. Storytelling from Bon Accord for a stunning visual shift with lights transforming the space and our total perceptions of the story. Modest from Tact for costume, hair and makeup. Modest Tact again for that soundtrack. I've also written down Modest, Wolf. An individual award to Turku Coxell for Lily in I'm Home. Acting drunk is not easy. To Davina Kaiser, Gregory Coles, Ellen Pickford and Andrea Walsh for Leviathan and Songkeeper, truly marvellous moment. And the final nomination is to Slumber Party, for the Slumber Party in Holding the Man. Can be for anything. But I want to give this Adjudicator Award to a moment that just had me put down my pen and go, wow. This award goes to Storytelling, Bon Accord. Next up, Best Director. There are a number of nominations here, and again, I'm having to be really picky to cut it down to these few. The first nomination goes to Phil Wintle for Goodbye Charles, a non-stop cheese-tasting cabaret. To Bethany Gale for lemons, 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 for a visual feast and a smart soul for some challenging plot holes. To Peter Essen and Ross Aitken for storytelling, shaping a technically shapeless piece with visual aplomb. To Rebecca Fortune-Smith for modest, post-punk feast for the eyes. And to Kane McCutcheon and Fiona White for Holding the Man, a heartbreaking exploration of love. The award for Best Director goes to Rebecca Fortune-Smith. Best Supporting Player. Now, given the amount of two-handers we have, there are not that many, so I have been a bit liberal in terms of who I regard as a supporting player. So bear with me, I hope you'll not be insulted if I put you as a supporting player if in your heart you thought we were more of a lead. I'd like to pull out for this nominations for the following. Gary Griffiths for Edward in Reckoning, those wonderful multiple personae tellings. Linda Russell for Miriam in Reckoning. What an enjoyable reversal we saw in that performance. Paul Foster for Tom in Reckoning. Lovely piece of compassionate playing. To Kira Jones for Alice in Modest, an emphatic and empathetic support piece. To Sue Fortune for Queen Victoria in Modest, Queen Vic, but not as you knew it. To Jenny Glaves for Zeph Larkin in Songkeeper, what a contribution you made. And finally to Chloe Mander for RA3 in Modest, Comedy Gold. The award for Best Supporting Player, I will not forget this in a hurry, is Sue Fortune.
Yeah.
That brings us to Best Actor. Again, a number of nominations here. First nomination to Clovis PJ for Dylan in 12 Hour Life, a journey from guarded to hope via love. To Ian Nutt for Andre, Kennedy and David in Goodbye Charles, one character part would be good, but three. To Kit Phillips for Oliver in Lemons, 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 anger, frustration, but love. To Hugh Ferry for Frank in Educating Rita, played with sorrow and vulnerability, which I've rarely seen done in Educating Rita. To Stephen Fortune-Smith for Millet/The Aid in Modest, an unleashed performance. To Liam Badco for Ambert in Songkeeper, internalized struggle with angst and hope. And to Douglas Brown for Provolov in Songkeeper, playing blind is not easy. To Daryl Hurst for Tim Connigrave in Holding the Man, a bravura ride through love and loss. And finally to James Clark for John Callio in Holding the Man, a beautiful portrayal of uncompromising love. The award for Best Actor goes jointly to Daryl Hurst. Which brings us to Best Actress. Again, a plethora of fantastic performances here, and again, I'm narrowing it down to the following nominations. Ashley Cole, Samantha in 12 Hour Life, wounded, hopeful, great character work. Nikki Amory for Mary in Warmind, fearful, anxious, took childish imagination to another level. Holly Bevins-Jones for Bernadette in Lemons, 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 that pent-up anger coming through with the jealousy and the pain. Ruby Tapp for Sarah and Kim, comedy work firing on all cylinders here, a performance that didn't fall between two stools. Nobody remember the play? Amanda Vincent Perkins for Rita in Educating Rita. You made this your Rita, there was no Julie Walters here. To Jenny Strawson for Rachel in Reckoning, powerhouse role of energy and vulnerability. To Rebecca Fortune-Smith for Elizabeth in Modest, punk and instigator. To Helen White for RA1, in Modest, no pantomime villain here, the poster boy for patriarchal posturing. I think the alliteration was getting away with me there. And finally, Sarah Walker for Mary and Something in the Basement, a nightmarish manipulator. The award for Best Actress goes to Ruby Tapp for Sarah and Kim. That brings us to the runner-up. A piece which pushed boundaries, visually exciting, with amazing set design in particular, from a highly proficient director, coordinated movement, where no move was wasted or unconsidered, and that all-important effective use of music, all with a message we need to keep front of mind. The runner-up at NDFA 2025 is Lemons, 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 Lemons. Spring. The winner of the NDFA 2025 was a piece which made us laugh. It made us sit and just take it all in. A piece I would want to see again, as I was having to write notes when I just wanted to sit back and enjoy the ride. Continuously provocative, packed with ideas. The winner is Modest. Yeah.
Tristan for probably the hardest job to do. That was a people winner out of all our fantastic plays. I hope everybody remembers their boxes. Let's hope so. You all got that right. There will be an opportunity, please, for all winners to go and have their photos taken, group photos and everything, out in foyer. We've arranged some balloons and flags and things. That makes it sound really, really fancy. Anyway, you'll find it when you go out there and take some photos. Thank you so much for coming, supporting us. Wish you all safe travels home, and we hope to see you all again next year. Thank you.